Hey everybody, it's Beth from Kingston Crafts. Welcome to Try It Tuesday. I'm super excited about today because we're going to try the foil quill from We Are Memory Keepers. It was a huge buzz at the industry event in January. It launched at HSN in March. It's in JoAnn stores now, and it's going to be showing up at retailers around the country. So I'm really excited to show everybody how it works and all the cool things you can make with it. So today I'm going to show you what comes in the package, how to install it on your Cricut, and then how to make your first project. So let's talk about the Cricut for a minute. Disclaimer, we're making a disclaimer. As you probably know, Cricut has made the statement that if you use the foil quill on any of their machines, it voids your warranty. I totally get it, I totally hear you. So there's a couple thoughts I have about that. Number one, if you've had your Cricut Explorer Air Maker for over a year, the warranty is voided anyway. Number two, if you are concerned and have a newer machine, you might be able to find one of the older Explorer machines on the market or at yard sale websites if that's something you just want to use with the foil quill. However, We Are Memory Keepers has made it clear that if you are using the machine correctly and something does happen to your machine, they will take care of it for you. So I think that's really important to know that you're not going to be left out in the lurch. I personally could tell you I've been using mine for about 2 weeks now. It works like a dream. I've never had any trouble with it. I just wanted to tell you guys all the truth because you know that's what we do here. We tell the truth about things. So now that we've got that all out of the way, let me show you how this works. Okay, so if you've already got your foil quill, all of this is what you're going to get in the package. If you got it at HSN, it's going to come in a brown box. If you got it at retail, it's going to come in very pretty packaging, but everybody gets the same thing. So what you're getting are 3 tip pens, which I'll explain in just a second, 4 adapters for whatever different machines you might be using, which I'll also explain, 3 rolls of foil, gold, silver, and rose gold, which is lovely, 1 roll of washi tape, and this is a heat protection plate, and I'm going to show you how this all works. The other thing that doesn't come with it, but I highly recommend you get, is this power bank. It's also made by We Are Memory Keepers. I'm going to show you how this works, but it has been sort of a game changer for me because I got it after I got the foil quill, so I had been using the foil quill the old way, and this really was a game changer for me. And by the way, I'm going to link to everything in the text section of this video, so if you guys have questions, you can find where you can find stuff, you'll know where to get them. So these 4 adapters are for the different types of machines: Silhouette, Brother, Cricut, and Sizzix. What's great is that inside the instruction manual, it tells you what's what. But for us Cricut users, here's how easy it is. C stands for Cricut. So A stands for Silhouette, B stands for Brother, C is for Cricut, and then D is for your Sizzix machines. So you're going to, and here's the thing about this video, I'm showing how to use it in a Cricut, but once you figure out how to get the adapter in, the rest is sort of the same. So if you've got another machine, stay tuned and watch with us so you'll see how everything works. So I'm going to take the Cricut adapter, and these 3 tip pens are standard, bold, and fine. That means how thick the line is going to draw, and you can really see the difference between the fine and the bold, how this one is like sort of a big round nub, and this one is almost like a craft knife tip. And then this one is the standard. Here's how rather than trying to figure out which one is which and trying to remember the colors, there's a little tag on each of the cords. I actually wrote in my terrible handwriting, bold tip, standard, and fine tip, so that way I can just get the one I want and start using it. So I'm going to use the standard tip today, which I have found I use the most. But the other ones are great, and the bold tip I think is really fun, but the standard's the one I use the most. So you're going to take your adapter and you're just going to screw it on to your tip. So then we're going to go to our Cricut for a second. I'm going to unlatch, so you're putting your foil quill where your pen would go, or your scoring, your little scoring nubby. It's a technical term, by the way. So you need to get this out before you can put your foil quill in. Now, when you do it the first time, it's probably going to be a little harder. Not harder, but more, you have to give a little more oomph. Once you've used it a time or two, so you're just going to push up from the bottom and then pull out, and this pops right out. So I'm just going to put it right in there. Then I'm going to put this in. And I haven't found that it matters whether the C is facing forward. I just sort of put it in and it's fine. Now here's where the power bank comes in handy. So this is essentially a 5-hour battery. You charge it on your phone cord. And again, this doesn't come with, but I think it's super, super, super helpful. It doesn't come with, but you can use this to plug in your foil quill. What I was doing beforehand was I was, number one, trying to plug it into my Cricut, which is over here on the side, and so this cord was across, or I was trying to plug it into my computer, which meant I had to have my computer over here, and it was just a lot. Dealing with this cord was a lot. With this, you can plug this right in, and you can see that it's charged, and you can see that this is on now because the light is flashing. So then I can set this sort of off to the side. I could set it in the back. It's portable, which is great. So that's why I think that that's important and helpful. Okay, now we're gonna prep our material to cut. So I'm gonna I've already cut some of my foil. You're gonna use your mat. I've been using a light grip mat just because, and I've cut a bunch of different, foiled a bunch of different materials, and I'll talk about that in a minute. If you're familiar with how the knife blade works, you have to cover all 4 edges with tape. This is washi tape. I've already done 2 just so because I figured you guys didn't want to stand around and watch me put tape on everything. A couple tips for using foil. It does need to be pretty taut across your material. It's actually a little more forgiving than I had originally thought, because when I first started doing this, I was a little bit sloppy, but it actually is a little bit forgiving. So if it's not perfectly tight, that's okay. The other thing too is, I don't know if you can see, I've only got maybe about a 1/4 inch of the foil tape. That's fine, as long as it's taped down, however it gets down is fine, and that's going to be important in a second. The other tip I have is, and this is the only issue I've had is with cardstock. I haven't had this issue with other materials, is like right here, I have the paper hanging over the foil. Quite often I've found that when I pull the washi off, unless I'm super, super gentle, a little bit of the paper comes off. So my advice is either cut it big enough that you can trim off that extra paper, or cut your foil large enough that it hangs over. So I'm going to show you when this comes off just what it looks like. So you can see I've still got a little bit of give on that, but this is still going to work out perfectly. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is start recording my computer screen so you guys can see exactly what we're doing in Design Space. Okay, so the big tip when you're in Design Space is we're normally working with images that are cut files. Now we're working with images that are draw files. So there's a couple easy ways to find draw files or make your own. So I'm going to click on images, and I'm in a new project. You can actually, if you're taking this brand new out of the box and you want to try something fun and you don't quite know how to work with different types of files, you can go right up here into search images and type draw. And these are all draw files. If you've got access, this is a great way to use your Cricut Access, because these are all available to you. So you can start with something really intricate and fun. I'm going to show you one of these. You can start with an easy word if that's something you want to use, but these are all draw files. So this is a nice, easy way for you to get started right outside of the box if you're sort of still new to Cricut and also new to the foil quill. If you are not, I'm going to get out of that. I'm just going to look through some of the images in Design Space. I love this Believe, Achieve, Succeed. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to insert it into my project. Now you'll notice when I do that, I'm going to make it bigger so you guys can see. You'll notice when I do that that these are thick black lines. And also up here, it's a cut file, right up here where it says cut. Now watch what happens when I change it to a draw file. See how it outlines the letters instead of them being a thick black line? That's because instead of cutting out that shape, it is going to draw these letters and these shapes with the foil quill. So a couple folks have asked, and by the way, while you guys are watching this, if you have any questions, please post them. And what I'm going to do is next week I'm going to actually create a blog post that hopefully answers all your questions for you. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. So what this is doing is it's going to draw these lines. So they're not going to be filled in. And then you just have to decide what size you want. So say I want to do like, just for giggles, we'll do like a 3 by 5. There we go. So then I'm ready to go. So I'm going to click over on to make it. I can see that it's drawing. So here's another really important tip. Because you've covered those edges of your foil with tape, this is not like your knife blade. It will not, the foil will not foil through the washi tape, if that makes sense. So you're actually going to take your image, and I like to scoot it over a little bit just to give myself some extra room. And as you get more comfortable with this, it'll make more sense, but just leave yourself some extra room both on the mat and when you're cutting. And then you're going to go to continue. Select your device. I actually have my maker plugged in just because I have it sitting right next to the machine, so I can show you guys this. Now here's what's interesting / important. I have, see, and it's hard to not say cut all the time. I have foiled all of my different materials just by clicking on cardstock. It hasn't seemed to matter because you're not actually cutting into it. It doesn't seem to matter what material you say you're using. And then here, it tells you to load your black tip pen. I'm not using a pen. That's where your quill is going. So you don't need to pay attention to all of these prompts. And then you're ready to go. Okay, one more thing before we get started. I want to talk about the metal heat shield for a second. This is really an ingenious tool that's so handy. Once you've got the foil quill in your machine, this is to rest underneath there. So if you do need to step away for a minute, and it's not, I mean, I can put my hands up there and it's not smoking hot, but just because you do want to protect your machine, you do want to protect your foil quill, that's just to rest that under there before and after you're cutting in case you need to, you know, run upstairs and change a load of laundry or whatever. So I'm going to take that out. I've got my mat ready to go. So I'm going to just scoot that out of the way. A little cord, and then just like you would with your regular, if you were cutting an image, I'm going to go ahead and load the mat, and then I'm ready to go. So once this starts cutting, and you can actually see that it's starting to add the foil to the project. But while it's doing that, there's a couple other things I want to cover. I want to talk about the foil for a second. Lots of folks have asked, can you use any foil? No, you cannot. This is it has to be a heat reactive foil. Lots of foils out on the market are toner reactive foils. So you just want to double check. I would stick with using the We Are Memory Keepers foils just because you know for a fact they work, but it has to be a heat reactive foil in order for it to work. The We Are foils come in both rolls and sheets. I do a lot of smaller projects, so I actually prefer the sheets. They're 4 by 6, but they have a ton of rolls in gorgeous colors, so that's also an option. Also, for those of you who may not be interested in making your own draw files or aren't quite sure how, you can actually buy USB drives from We Are. There's one from Heidi Swap. There's some from some other of your favorite designers that you can actually just plug in and use. So that's a great idea for beginners as well. Look at how beautiful it's going to be. Also, while that's finishing up, so I did this on cardstock, and I want to talk about, remember those beautiful mandalas I was talking, look at how intricate and beautiful that is. Can you see the shimmery foil? So that was on cardstock, but look at this. This is, I don't know if you can, there you go. That is actually acetate. So like if you're making cool invitations, and that's with one of the draw files. And then my friends, this is leather, faux leather. Look at how beautiful that is. So you are not limited to paper. You are not limited to cardstock or vellum. try it. If it fits in your machine, try it. The sky is the limit, and I'm just obsessed with all the cool things I can make. So I'm gonna clear all this stuff away. You just unload your machine, and then I'm gonna take my metal, there we go, and just set that in there. And then I'm just gonna gently start peeling this off. And I actually I'm having pretty good luck. You can see there's a little bit of cardstock on the tape, but not too much. It depends on the brand, but that's just something to keep in mind, like I said, when you are working with your project. Pull this guy off. And the foil is actually pretty sturdy. I thought I'd have to be delicate taking this off. The other nice thing about this is if I was using a much bigger sheet, say I used a 4x6 sheet, but I only ended up using 2 inches of it for my project, just like you can with vinyl, you can actually save what's left, save the extra, and use it on another project. So, dun, 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 dun. Let's have the reveal. And here's another thing that we'll talk about too in a second, but look at how beautiful that is. Look at how shiny and shimmery. Look. Oh my gosh, look at how beautiful it is. Let me peel that all the way off. Look at the shine on that. Is that the coolest thing ever? And here's a tip, if you do get foil on your mat, I've just used, and I'll link to this too, I just used a scrub brush when I clean my mats and it comes right off. Look at, oh my gosh, I could do this all day long. This is the most fun ever. I love it. This is the best. So this, my friends, is how to start your first project with the foil quill. Was that the greatest thing that has ever happened to anyone? My mind is blown with it has been for the past few weeks, with all the things you can use it on, all the different colors that are available. The possibilities are endless with the images you can find on your computer that you can download into your machine. I love it so much, and I hope you guys love it too. So I've got a very exciting surprise for you. The folks at We Are Memory Keepers are going to give away a bundle of the foils that go with the foil quill. So all you have to do to be entered is leave a comment. Tell us what you loved about it. Tell us if this is your first time hearing about it, if you already own it, if you've had it and haven't taken it out of the box because you haven't been sure what to do with it. I hope that this has been helpful for you. Just tell us what's on your mind. We Are Memory Keepers is going to give away a nice little bundle of foils, so some lucky person's going to get that. I just want to hear what you guys think because I'm so excited about the possibilities, and I can't wait for you guys to get started. And I will see you guys next week for another Try It Tuesday. Thanks.